Break up with this trash boy. Hurry up, cause I'm bored. Hey. Hey. Oh. What is done in darkness? Hey. It will come to the light. It will come to the light. Hey. Oh, Johnny boy. Oh, have we got some things to talk about? Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Shannon Show podcast. Hello, if you're new. So, today's episode is going to be a review of Love Island USA Season 2, Episode 23. I hope everybody is doing as well as possible and is being as proactive as possible in supporting the Black Lives Matter movement. And if you're still on the lookout for some resources, I've linked some in the description. Feel free to comment down below your thoughts on my commentary. I'm always up for a chat. I'm always up for a debate. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you didn't, give it a dislike. No hard feelings, but let's just get into this shit, Shadi. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Oh. Like I said in my last podcast, I saw it coming, girls. I saw it coming. And it came. And the delivery was oh so sweet. Spectacular. But let's get into it. So, aftermath of the date. Sally, she's telling the girls she enjoyed the date. She admires his confidence and his boldness of picking her. And she kind of feels like now that he has done this and he has been so bold, she has an obligation to get to know him. And I'm liking what I'm hearing right now. I'm like, this is nice. This is nice to hear. I'm loving it. So then after that, Sally and Johnny have a talk. And to be fair to somewhat degree to Johnny, Sally was kind of giving him mixed messages. She kind of was. She was saying how she's not open to getting to know him. She's all about Johnny, but then she also kind of wants to get to know him because she doesn't want to be that girl that is like, no, don't talk to me. But then Johnny's kind of like, well, if you're saying that you're all about me, surely you would now tell this guy that you're not interested. That kind of makes sense to me. And to be fair, the trash does have a point. If you are supposedly all about this person, then you wouldn't be entertaining other people. I kind of get that point to some degree, I have to say. But it's very clear that Sally didn't want to do that. And at that point, at that opportunity, she should have said, yes, right now, I'm all about you, but I don't want to kind of close off getting to know this person. It probably won't go anywhere, but I don't want to close myself off. I think that would have been fair to say, but she should have said that in that moment. But at the same time, I do understand Johnny was definitely putting the pressure on. It was definitely being very intense. And I think she, sometimes it's easier to just agree with someone just to take that pressure off. Like, you don't want to be dealing with an argument. You already tried to say your point. He's not getting it. So just agree to what he says. Obviously, in real life, you could just do your do in secret, but it's kind of like... you're all in the house together. So, I mean, you can't really do your do in secret, I mean, well, not even in secret, but obviously it's not like, in real life, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you know what it is. So, anyway. So, yeah, she's kind of been like put on the spot here by Johnny. Johnny is definitely applying the pressure, and she's just, doing that thing where you just agree with someone, but you don't really agree. And then this bitch, Johnny, Johnny is actually pressed and crazy. He's telling Sally, take off your sunglasses. He said, take off your sunglasses, girl. And she's like, what? Sunglasses? What? Sally. You know them ones. It's just like, what? So obviously it's very clear he wanted to look in her eyes. And I'm like, okay, this is crazy. This is some kind of polygraph shit now, like look into my eyes. So obviously she reluctantly takes off her sunglasses, and he's there like looking her in the eyes and tells her, "Tell it to me again." So she says it, and you can already tell her eyes were probably just moving everywhere, shawty. So at this point, I feel like Johnny knew she wasn't telling him the truth. Yes, Sally should have been honest. She should have just, stuck to her guns and been like, "Look, this is what the business is." But obviously, he was putting the pressure on her. So then after that, Sally goes and talks to Justine, and she's basically like how she's kind of feeling like an idiot because she feels pressured because Johnny is not even her boyfriend, and yet he's expecting her to have this kind of boyfriend loyalty towards him. Like she can't even talk to another guy, breathe in another guy's direction. And she has a point. Like I said, she should have told him at the time, but I can understand Johnny was putting the pressure on her. And basically, she's basically saying how she's suspicious now that he's just putting all of this pressure on him. She's kind of never really done that to him. And Justine is basically backing her up. Like, yeah, he shouldn't be treating you like this. Like, obviously you haven't done anything to compromise this relationship. So he should be able to trust you in talking with somebody. I mean, there's no harm in talking to somebody. It's not like they're kissing or anything. So even in a normal relationship, I wouldn't see the problem, especially they're not boyfriend and girlfriend. They haven't, it's kind of just like, I don't know what it is. It kind of seems like, when people say that, "Oh, that's my wife, that's my husband," but there's no ring, there's no marriage papers. It kind of feels like that, So I can understand why Sally's kind of just feeling like, why am I loyal to somebody who hasn't even made me his official girl? And, we're in the same stage as we were at before Casa Amor and at Casa Amor when he was swinging his balls around. So I can definitely understand why Sally is kind of feeling a type of way. So then we have a snippet to Johnny, and Johnny already knows what is up. He knows that Sally wasn't being genuine, but he knew that when he was putting the pressure on her, and it was kind of like, I feel like he was testing her at that moment. So like he knew he was putting pressure on her. So it's just, I don't know, it's a psychological thing that manipulative men do. But it was just very worried. Obviously, Johnny is blowing things up. He's basically now imagining in his head Sally now leaving him for this Benny boy. But it's kind of like, you're not really doing yourself any favors if you're pushing her away. Because it just felt like a very interrogative conversation that they were having. And he's just basically just accusing her of all of these things. He's basically calling her a liar. He's saying, "Oh, she said she would never do this to me. She said she would never talk to anyone else. She said she would never, be interested in anybody else." Just sounding a bit crazy. But what do you guys think? Do you feel like Sally was being a bit cheeky talking to Benny, or do you feel like she was well within her rights to do that? I think she was well within her rights to do that. At this point, it's just words. They're not an official couple. They're not an official piece. So at this point, I kind of feel like if there are new options coming in, she should be allowed to explore them and vice versa. And everybody else, namely Carrington, Caleb and Justine, are basically saying that he's reading too much into things and he's making himself look like he's guilty because he keeps bringing up Casa Amor. He keeps bringing up, "Oh, because of Casa Amor, she kind of is now feeling a type of way about me." And everyone is basically like how Sally has never really banged that up. It's only you who's bringing it up. So everybody's kind of just like, so why are you feeling so guilty about Casa Amor if you've already told the truth about it? So after that, I was kind of like, I can feel it coming, I feel it coming. I feel it coming, baby. I feel an expose coming, shawty. And obviously we know what went down in this episode. So next we have Johnny and Sally have another chat. It's a lot more casual, a lot more nicer, a less pressure intensive conversation. Johnny basically knows that he's out here looking crazy and he knows that he's pushing Sally away. So he is now kind of backtracking on what he said in the initial conversation, because he knows he has to hang on to Selly because Selly is the anchor holding this relationship. So then we see Noah go talk to Kirsten, and I think he's kind of shot himself in the foot here, because I feel like if he wanted to secure a place in the villa, for me, the most logical thing to do in terms of his game plan would be to pursue Maura. I think Maura would be the easiest person to get for Noah, in my opinion. So he goes to Kirsten, he tells Kirsten that he likes her, and then he goes further to say that Kirsten is his number one. So it's kind of like, now if you're not Kirsten's number one, it's just not going to be good for you, because then Kirsten's going to go tell Maura, oh, he came up to me, he said I was his number one option, and then Maura's not going to want you anymore, she's going to stick with Connor, and then you're going to be booted out, babe. So I was just kind of like, the thought process, it's just, it could be better. And then also he starts talking about his game plan. He said game plan in towards who he was going to talk to, but I was just like, this is rookie moves. Obviously, every single person in that house has a game plan. It is obvious. We are in a game. But nobody says that shit out loud. So it's just kind of like, this is just rookie moves, Noah. And then basically Kirsten is in the confessional basically saying that she's just noticing he keeps looking at her eyes and then looking at her boobs, like, simultaneously. And then we see an edit and he's fully, like, looking at her boobs, like, looking up at her and then looking at her boobs. And I was just like, Noah, Mr. Nice Guy. I knew it. Oh, I mean, Kirsten has a nice rack, but have some self-control. At least, you pick, even when somebody has a very distracting physical quality about them, you pick a spot and you stick to that spot. You stick to the eyes, the forehead, and you stick to that. Have some self-control, babe. So, and anyway, we kind of know that Kirsten is all about Bennett right now, so that's not going to happen. So I kind of feel like Noah might have shot himself in the foot, especially if Maura finds out about this, which he probably will. But what do you guys think about Noah? What do you guys think about him? I'd be interested to know. Then we have Laurel and Carrington's boring ass, customary. We have to check in with them, I guess. And Laurel was talking about the future, and just the look on Carrington's face, you could tell he's definitely ditching this girl once he comes out the villa. She's talking about, are you going to come see me in Alabama? And since ain't nobody coming to see you in Alabama, shawty. Nobody coming. Oh, Laurel. Bless her. Anyway. And then next we have the announcement of the tweet challenge. And Johnny is clearly nervous. Selly is nervous. And I'm just like, yes, we love to see it. The expose is coming. I feel it coming, baby. So now, we see. So let's just skip forward. Let's get to the juicy tweets. There's some juicy tweets and some honourable mentions. So first honourable mention, we have some love for Justine. People are showing love for her fashion sense. So I love that she got that moment. They came for Connor's bland personality. They came for Calvin's lack of success. Kristen and Tegan showed her love for Justin and Caleb, which is, again, it's just a massive confidence boost for them. And I just love this for Justine, considering the abysmal start that she had. Now she's just hearing all of this success, and it's just kind of like, when you kind of think that you are on your way to success, but you kind of need that confirmation that, yeah, you're that top bitch. And I love that they got that confirmation today. Carrington got called out for being fake deep. And yeah, he definitely is fake deep. I feel like even down to his voice when he's doing that fake deep stuff, he's just a big actor, really and truly. He should sign up to an acting agency, because I feel like he'd be really good in those kind of B grade teen films on Netflix, I would be here for it. I think he'd do very well, as those kind of mean boys, mean popular boy roles. I think so. People are saying that Maura will ditch Connor when she gets bored, and you know what? I can't rule that out. She is a bit of a weird one. And you know what? I think they could be right. I don't know. I'm not sure she'll ditch for Noah if what Noah said to Kirsten comes to light. But who knows? It could be a possibility. But maybe now Maura might actually now stick with Connor because she's like, oh my God, the public is chatting shit about me. So who knows? And then we get the last tweet. The last tweet, we were anticipating it. I was anticipating it. You were anticipating it. We all were. And it was just, ooh, the silence. The silence. You could cut it with a knife. The atmosphere. It was a very atmospheric moment. Ooh. It's one of those ones where they finish the sentence and everyone's just like, ooh. So, the gist of the matter is, Johnny's ass got exposed. It was scandalous. The scandal, Shadi. So, obviously, everybody, as they're saying their answer, the boys are defending him. And I was just like, oh, just shut up. But actually, it could actually work in the people who want Sally and Johnny to break up's favour, because obviously the boys defending him, of course his friends are going to defend him. I mean, if my friend was out here cheating on her boyfriend, she came to me and she asked me, look, I need you to back me, I'm going to back my girl. So I can understand why the boys are backing him. I can. But it does look suspicious. It does. So, anyway. So the boys, obviously, it just looks even more suspicious. I mean, they're trying to help out their friend, but it just looks suspicious. What's interesting is that when the boys were backing Johnny up, Benny was kind of making a face like, you guys are lying. Like, you guys are lying. So, did anyone else peep that? I peeped that. And then Justine, she had something to say. I was like, speak your shit, girl. You want to speak your shit. So, she was basically like how, you know, the public might be seeing something that we ain't. So, it's just like, you know, obviously the boys are out here, they're going to defend their friend. But the public is out here seeing something that we ain't. So, you know. And I was just like, yes. You better talk that shit, girl. Now, after that, we already know it's going to be some drama. It's going to be some shit. I was like, yeah. Bring on the mess. You know, I'm team mess, Shadi. I was like, yes. This is what I've been waiting on. So, the girls are having their talk with Sally. The girls are basically like, you know, the public are seeing something that we're not. I mean, they're saying half of the story. Half is a lot, you know. So what is the truth? What is the truth? And obviously you've watched the show and generally the public is right. So obviously they're going to be suspicious. Most definitely should be suspicious. Then we see Johnny talking with the boys, and they're basically like, you know, did you tell the whole truth? Did you tell the whole truth? And he's just basically like how, okay, but I did pull the cover over us, and maybe, you know, people are just insinuating things went under the cover, but all we did was kiss. All we did was make out. That's it. Like, I didn't get in her pants, you know, I didn't get in her pants, you know, we didn't have sex, nothing like that happened. But, you know, like I said in my prior podcast, grown people cuddles ain't no PG cuddles. You know, things are rubbing together. Things are rubbing together. And honestly, a little rub can do the same thing as what a hand can do. So let's be real. Let's be real about it. Let's be real about it. And it's just like Johnny is just still continuing to try and save face when he just needs to just divulge fully at this point, I think. If he really did want to save himself, but I feel like the damage has already really been done, to be honest. To be exposed like this and think that you can undermine people and play the public as well, I mean, it's not a good look. Sally then talks to Caleb and asks if he thinks that he is absolutely telling the whole truth. Like, does he think that there is any chance that he has left some details out? And, you know, Caleb, he's put under pressure. He's been trying to save Johnny. He's been trying to do damage control with Johnny. I think he has been expecting Johnny to tell the truth. And he has been hoping that Johnny has been telling the truth. But in the back of his head, I think Caleb does know that he is withholding stuff. But obviously he knew if the time comes, he would have to speak his truth. And he did give way and was basically like, I don't think that they had sex, but I can't rule anything else out. But I know for a fact that they didn't have sex. And I mean, that coming from Caleb, who's a reputable source, I mean, again, it gives way for speculation. So then we see Johnny talking with Justine, and Justine is like, so what really happened? What is the truth? Johnny, again, he's just trying to save face. He's just saying, we just kissed. Justine's talking about, I want the details. Johnny's talking about, why do I need to give any details? It was just a kiss. What more details do you want? Again, being very dismissive. And again, just trying to save face when the mask is already off, babe. Just tell the truth, babe. You're not doing yourself any favours. So Justine is just there looking at his eye like, this boy is lying and is still continuing to lie. I'm trying to help him and he's continuing to lie. She's already sussing in her head. She's like, this boy is trash. This boy is trash. I could see it in her eyes. She was looking at him like, this boy's really been trash all along. Then Sally goes to Noah and asks him what happened. Obviously, this is now an external, neutral source that is not involved in anything. I was like, is she going to ask Benny? And I was probably like, it's probably best if she asks Bennett or Noah. Obviously, somebody that she is not really dealing with. Sorry, I keep laughing. I'm sorry, the situation is just so funny. Oh my gosh. And Noah was just spilling all of the tea, Shaddies. Noah spilled all the tea. He was talking about the whipped cream. She said that they were making out. He said that there were hands moving under the cover. He said that there was grinding. And he basically said that the next morning he seemed so regretful, but the regret that he was feeling makes him believe that it was way more than just a kiss going on under the cover. And Sally's face was just like, this boy has done me so dirty. And oh, just when I was like, now you see the truth, sis. You see the truth. This is damning information, girl. What are you going to do? You have no choice but to kick him to the curb, babe. You've got no choice. But when he was revealing the tea, I'm sorry, that was such a gratifying moment. I was like, you better spill it. You better spill it. And he spilled it and it was piping hot, Shadi. It was piping hot. Then we see Sally and Justine have a conversation, and we kind of we have this moment that we've been waiting for. Sally basically says that Sally basically has realised that Johnny has given her the runaround and he's been manipulating her when he was dismissive about, nothing much happened. He was intentionally withholding details, and then he was coming for her because somebody took her out on a date. And she basically said that she deserves better. And then obviously Justine's putting her input in, but Justine came through with that key question. She said, if I was in your position and Caleb had done me how Johnny had did you, what advice would you give me? And that was the key question. And she said, you know, if I would tell you to kick him to the curb, basically. So, and then Justine's basically saying, well, I think that's what you need to do, sis. And then that's where the episode ends. Oh, girl, wow. It was beautiful, this episode, wasn't it? It was like a cinematic extravaganza. Like, the story building was exquisite. So tomorrow is basically going to be the height of this, I think. Potentially the height. Who knows? It could go on. But tomorrow is going to be where we get the final decision. Well, not maybe not the final decision, but we're going to get a decision from Sally about the future of her and Johnny right now. I think emotions are high right now, so I could see a breakup. I'm not sure if it would be definite, but I think she's definitely going to be exploring what Benny is saying. At the very least, she's going to be exploring that. Johnny, it's still looking like he's trying to hang on to whatever image he's trying to hold on to, because he doesn't want to be that trash guy. And he's trying to dig himself out of a hole, and the hole's already too deep. So it's just about being transparent right now. But it just seems like he's allergic to transparency, and that's why he's just so against it. And I think Sally's finally going to see right through him and hopefully kick him to the curb permanently. And see what this Benny guy is saying. And I'm absolutely here for it. I think there is a recoupling as well. It's girls' pick. So who knows? Could Johnny end up getting flung out of the villa? If he did, oh my gosh, do you know? Imagine 24 hours you've lost your girl and then she flung you out the villa. My. I think that's what it's going to be. I think, what is the numbers right now? With the numbers, it's looking like 2 people are going home. 2 boys are going to go home tonight. So I'm guessing it's going to be down to the 3 boys. It's going to be Benny, Johnny, and Noah. And Sally's going to be the last one up, and she's going to have to pick who she wants. The drama, girls, the drama. So, yeah. Oh my God, that was beautiful, guys. I gotta hear from you guys. What did you think of my commentary? And what did you think of this episode, Shade? What do you think about it? Is Sally gonna kick Johnny to the curb? Is Johnny finally going to tell the truth? Are you here for potentially Sally and Benny being a thing? I gotta hear it from you guys. But yes, subscribe if you haven't yet. And if you have, don't forget to put that notification bell on so you know when the next podcast is dropping. I'm also trying to get to 1.8 subscribers, so I'd appreciate if you help me out with that. And thank you to everyone who has subscribed so far. Oh, that's the popo coming for Johnny. Till next time, guys. Bye.